What is going on, fellow reformers? It's the Reformation Keegan, and I'm here today with another video. So, if you watched any of my more recent videos, you would know that I have done a top 5 Superman covers. So now I feel like the best next option is a top 5 Batman covers. So, I wanted to get this out there before I start and say that my criteria for Batman is a bit different than Superman because I don't have as many stories in print for Batman as I do for Superman when we're talking about more old school stories. Most of my old school stories of Batman are in trade. So like ones like The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One, all of those they're in trade. I don't have those currently on me right now in my collection, but I would like to get them. So I just wanted to put that out there. So if you don't see any of those kind of covers, that is why. Because I'm only doing my top 5 covers in my collection, not ones of all time, which that'll be an entirely different list. So a lot of my Batman comics are more based off of post 1995. So a lot of the older detective ones I don't have, and a lot of the older series from the mainline Batman I do not have, because like I said a bit earlier, I only have those in trade. So for the criteria that I'm going for aesthetic value, I'm going for rarity, and I'm going for ethos. So which is the credibility. So what credibility does this cover bring? Does this comic bring in general? So I'm really excited to get started with this, and I wanted to start by saying I was gonna include the first series of Batman Black and White, but I couldn't decide on a final cover because to me a lot of them look very similar and it was hard for me to decide on just one, but I felt like it would be a bit much to just put all 5 of them in. So that's why Batman Black and White would not be in this criteria, because I might do a top 5 sets that I have one day, maybe just for Batman because I do have a lot of sets. So I just want to get that out there. And I also don't have a lot of the individual comics from like the 52 and from a lot of the other main lines. So I just didn't think it'd be fair to put those comics in. So again, stating that before I start. So a lot of these are just a bit off the wall, but I think they deserve their proverbial flowers. So we're going to start with number 5, and in no chronological order, we have Batman and Captain America. So this is a pretty unique team up because you don't see a lot of Marvel and DC team ups, especially nowadays. And I'm sure when this team up happened back in the 2000s ish era, it was pretty unprecedented. And these are 2 of my favorite characters. I absolutely love Captain America. I'm more of a DC guy, but I do love Cap. So this is a unique team up because you have 2 characters that are very derived off of personal and moral and political justice. And to see them team up is really awesome. And plus, I think the cover looks pretty good. So I would like to see if they're ever going to do more Marvel and DC crossovers. I would love to see a part 2 of this, or even like a little mini series, like a 5-issue arc. That would be really cool. Because I think these characters have more in common than people actually think. So it's one of the reasons it's number 5 on this list, but again, not in any order. So at number 4, we have the really awesome cover of the Batman Adventures 28. I actually just picked this up for Free Comic Book Day, and it was on sale. You have a really joyful Harley Quinn with the Joker. They're roasting marshmallows over a hanging Batsy in a straitjacket. I mean, this doesn't get much better. This really derives from Batman the Animated Series, based off of its art alone, and it has a very Darwyn Cooke feel to it, which I love because Darwyn Cooke is one of my all-time favorites. So it's one of the reasons that this cover's on here, but it's also on here because this is the 4th appearance of Harley Quinn. So not an easy comic to find, but also not incredibly difficult, but it does hold some value to me because of that. I would love to get the first appearance of Harley Quinn, but that's going to cost me a lot of cash. So if I ever get enough cash, maybe I will buy it, but I'm settling for number 4 right now. All right, and then up next, we have, speaking of Darwyn Cooke, Batman in the Spirit with Jeff Loeb and Darwyn Cooke. participating in crafting this great narrative. I love The Spirit, by the way. If you have never read or watched The Spirit, I recommend doing so. A lot of people don't like The Spirit movie from 2008. I do, so I recommend it. Just have fun. Have fun. Don't over analyze comics all the time. Just sometimes go in, turn your mind off for 2 hours and watch a movie, because that's what they're designed to do. Not everyone needs to be a critic. You're entitled to be a critic, but you don't always have to be a critic. Sometimes movies rhetorically are just meant to numb you for a couple hours. So if you're going through anything, think of a movie in that way, as almost like a therapeutic medication for you. So anyway, back to my list. Batman and the Spirit. So again, this is a really unique face-off, because again, you have two characters that are very derived on justice and two characters that are derived on making things right, and it's a really nice conflict of interest. So I think the art too is absolutely fantastic on this. I love the darkness and the light, and then the darkness and then the light. Like, this is really, really unique to me. And again, it's just such a fascinating team up. But I really like the color scheme of this, and sometimes less is more with a comic cover. You don't need to add too much and make it look too busy. Sometimes you can get your message just by eye contact, and that's what Batman in the Spirit does. All right, we're down to two more. So this one is a little more recent, but this is the 1 in 25 of Batman 154 of the current line, and I love this because this to me screams old school. And you have the bat signal in the background, and you have Batman ready to go and help. So Batman's coming to save the day. You have the cape in the wind. You have Batman looking on in the distance. To me, again, less is more. It doesn't get much better. And I also love the pinkish purple color scheme on this. This looks absolutely phenomenal, and I love the reflection coming off of Batman's suit and also on the cape as well. So this is really, really awesome. And I haven't even opened it because this is more of an aesthetic choice. But I also think it captures the legacy of Batman, generally speaking. So that's another reason why it's on here, because if you watch Batman the Animated Series, you'll know that the intro ends with Batman standing on top of a building and looking in the distance, almost like a silhouette. And that's what this reminds me of. So absolutely beautiful, and holds a little bit of sentimental value because of the connotation to the animated series. And speaking of connotations to Batman the Animated Series, my final one is the variant cover from Batman Brave and the Bold 9. So this is obviously a tribute to Batman the Animated Series. So if you remember the outro to Batman the Animated Series, you'll remember that it looked like this. So you'll have the orangish background, and you will have Batman with the cape over and looking right at you. So this is, again, perfect example of less is more. Absolutely beautiful. Great intricate art through here and a nice reflection. And Batman just looking at you, being the coolest hero ever. So again, a tribute to Batman the Animated Series, which is my favorite iteration of Batman, and actually most people's favorite, I would say. If not, let me know what your favorite iteration of Batman is. But to me, I remember somebody else got this and let me know that it was available, and once I found out, I couldn't find it in the comic store anymore, so I had to order this on eBay, even though I would rather support my local comic shops. But I had to have this, and there was no way I wasn't going to have it. And it, again, holds a lot of aesthetic value to me, but also sentimental value because of the aesthetic. So that's why it's on here. And this is actually one of my favorite Batman covers of even ones I don't have. Like, I think this one will go down as one of the best just because of its tribute alone. So let me know what you guys think, because I really enjoy a good Batman cover, and I'm a huge Batman fan. I love Batman the Animated Series. I love the Christopher Nolan trilogy. I love it all. So let me know what your favorite Batman covers are. Let me know who your favorite Batman artists are. I also wanted to give a shout out to the legendary George Perez, because there actually is a George Perez postcard variant of Batman coming out, which I recommend everybody gets. And there's also ones of Superman and also ones of the Flash coming out, and many, many more. So I want to put that out there as well, because I do love good Batman art, and there's a lot of it. Other honorable mentions are some of the art from Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, also of Batman Dark Age, which had a lot of really cool variants, such as the one where Batman is drowning in the Lazarus Pit, kind of grabbing for dear life while Ra's al Ghul looks in the distance. So those are a couple other mentions, but I settled for these. So again, let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite Batman covers? I'm going to do some more videos like this going forward. I'm thinking about doing some Captain Marvel ones, maybe some of the Flash, Wonder Woman, and many others. So let me know what you think. And most of all, don't forget to subscribe.